This is it, the final summary for Baldur's Gate 3. Many, including myself, thought it impossible, but I managed to beat Act 3 and therefore all of Baldur's Gate on Honor Mode. This was my 10th attempt at playing Honor Mode, and I'm very happy to be done with the game. I think it's possible I'm slightly sick of Baldur's Gate, for at least the next little while. Considering this has basically been the only game I've been playing for the past week or so, I'm very happy to be finished this series. But hey, it's me again, devoted 221, that guy who is starting to 100% games and then comment on what's good and bad about them. And for Baldur's Gate especially, we did a very nice act-by-act summary of everything. At the time of writing the script, I had just completed Act 3, and at the time of recording, it's been a couple days. But I actually used an old save file from when the game first came out in 2023, so we're talking like patch 0 kind of save file, to get some of the achievements I originally missed that were actually possible with the amount of saves that I had in the file. Like I'm saying, I'm currently sitting at 87% completion with only missing 7 achievements, and some of them I have to go back all the way to Act 2 to complete, so I probably won't do that for a little bit, and I might even stream it. Who knows? Anyways, just to clarify, this is not the final review video. That is going to come out next week, and if you're watching this video more than a week after it's been posted, well, then that final review is out, and there'll be a link to it in the description. But stick around and watch this, because, you know, you're going to see how I got to my conclusions in that video. So first off, let's talk final statistics. Like I already said, as of writing the script, I'm at 87% achievement. So definitely not 100%, but I've done everything that is achievement related enough, and the ones I'm missing are actually pretty trivial. Other statistics are 11.5 attempts, with the 0.5 coming from having that very old save file like I was talking about, which I used to actually do the Dragon and Gortash achievements, because in Gortash I walked through the door which activated a ton of traps, so it screwed that achievement. My Honor Mode save file, it's about 66 hours, 22 minutes, plus 5 to 10 minutes for doing the Gortash Ansur fight, plus 16 from previously failed attempts, which totals to a maximum of 82 hours, 42 minutes. I've gotten every possible ending at this point, including Bhaal, Ceramorphosis, Control the Absolute, and Kill the Absolute. And then finally, I 100% cried when Shadowheart died in the Shadowfell, and when Karlach burned up in her ending, because they were sad. Okay, enough rambling, let's get on to the Act 3 summary. We start off by becoming cheese. That's it. That's all. Oh, and like the weird talking amulet tries to kill us. And also the Githyan key at the Emperor's old hideout, they also tried to kill me and attack me, which goes super well for them. So they're all dead now, and we don't need to worry about them dying to the Absolute, so yay. We move on from that, and we tell Auntie Ethel, who is somehow still alive, they didn't really explain that, go kick rocks with her stolen weird hag baby. One of the most frustrating things about this fight is I actually prepped for it by using elixirs that gave you a permanent sea invisibility, but apparently they just don't reveal Ethel. Yeah, Mind Sanctuary also didn't grant haste like it says it does, at least not consistently, which is really great, really great. Can't wait to talk about that in the review. Finally, we do manage to kill her and her unborn egg spawn. Now we have what is probably the best date I've ever been on with Karlach, which, man, saying that out loud is a lot sadder than it first sounded when I wrote it out.
But my gods, we had fun. What about you? Might have, if you spent any time in the outer city. We didn't exactly hide ourselves under a bushel. Oh, hey.
It's a bleeder.
Worst guy I ever met. Anyway, how about a toast? Oh, shit! May we live every day, because you never know when your last will come. Oh, that was great. The food.
But then I turn around and I almost immediately romance the Emperor afterward to get that achievement, which, ugh, disgusting. Next on the infinitely large list of things to do is the Iron Throne. Now, the Iron Throne, even on honor mode, is actually fairly easy and straightforward. Basically, we have to dash with Exterion before triggering the cutscene, which actually boosts his movement speed on the first turn of initiative, effectively allowing us to dash again to basically like triple his movement on a single turn.
Normally I would find your people. Unfortunately, we have no time. Do not concern yourself with me. The Duke Ravengard is held in the security wing. Be careful. There are many has act with speed.
Try this.
Hey! Get me! Thank you. I thought I was done for.
And we actually use a speed boosted Karlach to save Duke Ravengard, which is when Missoria decides to be an absolute, do you get it? Snake. She basically tries to assassinate Duke Ravengard, which, too bad for her, we threw a potion at him beforehand. So he survives. From there, we pretty much save everyone. A few Gondians did die on their escape, and we move on to Lorroakan's tower, where we basically loot his entire vault, and then we employ the help of Nightsong to kill this guy.
Best be on my way. Cursed to put my hands on everything.
Mother's milk, your visage. Is he indeed? I will wring his neck. I'm coming with you. My darling, we agreed I won't let our closest high we
So apparently to kill Lorroakan, you're actually supposed to kill all the elementals before trying to attack Lorroakan because of his legendary actions and all that stuff. But honestly, it's too much effort. So Asterion just casts Shoot Arrow to beat this wizard in a wizarding duel. So next, I move on to the Steel Foundry, which I actually didn't record this fight with the outside Steel Watchers. I just forgot to hit record. But honestly, it was really embarrassing for me anyways, because I threw a bunch of poison chromatic orbs for like 2 turns instead of acid, and I could not figure out why they weren't working until I realized I'm clicking the wrong symbol. But I digress. The battle with the Hellfire Watch goes really well, other than the Gondians having the survivability of the modern day hamster.
Come on, can't stay idle.
We use Battlemancy to take out most of the Hellfire Titan points, and a Freezing Spear combined with a Chain Lightning spell scroll just obliterates the Titan's hit points. So, after completely pissing off Gortash and fighting a bunch of the Flaming Fist members, I actually decided to move on to the underside of the Wyrm's Way, and we meet the long-dead bronze dragon Ansur. Let's actually watch how this fight plays out.
do.
So next I move on to the Murder Tribunal, and I decided to murder them instead of swearing myself to Bhaal, and it actually goes really badly. I didn't realize that after killing the first of the 3 echoes, that their death empowers Servron, which honestly, go figure, murder makes the murder guy stronger. Crazy, whoever would have thought that could have been a possibility. But basically, he now has a +6 to his AC, permanent haste, cannot be paralyzed, restrained, have reduced movement, and he heals when attacking, except for when he's in that Deathbringer Legacy form, which activates only after he makes 4 successful attacks. It comes incredibly close, but it actually comes down to 2 incredibly powerful critical attacks that were smited from Tav that absolutely shred Servok's hit points, and we do manage to come out on top. I avoid most of the murder initiation by flying while being invisible, so honestly, it's not even worth showing. It was like a turn of combat to kill the one guy. So yeah, we're gonna move on to Orin the Slayer. So the first thing to note about Orin is that in her Slayer form, she has 12 unstoppable charges, which means until we hit her 12 times, every damage source she takes is reduced to 1. So we use Karlach with some magic missiles to shred through those really quickly, and we open up the fight with Astarion and using a paralyzing critical to knock her down. I do a little stupid, and I actually use a bomb arrow on Orin to take out her and her surrounding cultists, which also hits Karlach, and I didn't realize that because Karlach was never leveled up to level 12, she's not level 12, so she can't take these hits. So yeah, Lae'zel dies. Orin has legendary resistance on top of that, so some of the spells are going to be a lot harder to use against her. And the Temple of Bhaal also functions as a little bit of a lair action, which basically just grants Orin another 12 unstoppable charges at the end of the round. And apparently, this run, I just really like killing companions. And yeah, at the end here, even though Orin had 12 unstoppable charges, by the start of Karlach's turn, Karlach somehow kills her with a single attack. I think maybe because the damage she dealt was over Orin's total hit points. I'm still not too sure, even watching it back and recording it now. I just don't know how this happened. But yeah, we kill Bhaal. Sorry, we kill Orin, not Bhaal. We accept Bhaal for the achievement, even though I swear we're the good guys here. All the murders were totally unintentional. To start out the Cazador fight, I actually just opened with a daylight because this will start using his sunlight hypersensitivity, and it also stops Astarion from being captured, which it also just forces him to come fight us on the staircase instead of us fighting him in the arena, which just delays his pack from attacking us a ton. We use Sleep Storm to trip up these ghouls and Cazador and the werewolves, and honestly, Cazador was a really easy fight, in my opinion. It was not close for us at all. So we kill him, we take out the pack, and yeah, Astarion becomes the Vampire Ascended.
I'm finally free! I think the answer to that. Come on, let's get out of here.
The next thing I do is I actually go out and clear the House of Hope. And I'm not even going to talk about how I almost died here, but I totally cheesed Raphael by just running away from the arena and hiding in the little respite room for a while. So yeah, we're not going to talk about this, but just watch and understand what goes on.
Now down here come the claws.
Light on my feet.
I'm
Let's have some fun.
Waiting with bated breath.
Lives, all mortal lives, expire. Souls go to their dooms in the flame
I won't give in.
Hell has its laws. Hell. Effect and the cause. Curtain falls, but hold your applause. Squirm, for now down here come the claws.
lives, all mortal lives, expire. Souls go to their dooms in the flame forevermore.
Fools, how hard you have fought. Brave, but it's all been for naught. True souls that couldn't be fought. Doomed, detected, and caught. No more deals, it's over. The final act, you're doomed. No more grace, it's over. This house of hope.
Intestines throb, blood whispers.
The absolute last thing we have to do before confronting the Netherbrain now is defeating Gortash. We have to do this without triggering his traps, so we actually take a convoluted route to get to the roof of the fortress where we confront him. The only difficult part about Gortash is he can summon the Hand of Bane, which deals an insane amount of force damage at the end of the afflicted character's turn.
Over here.
I'd love to, thanks. If you insist.
At last. This city is mine.
And we end up killing Gortash, and we let Karlach get the final blow, as she deserves. One thing that we have to do is become an Illithid for the Ceramorphosis achievement, which comes at the end of the game. So we become an Illithid with the Emperor.
I'm sure what you have done, the greater challenge. Come. Come. It's time to leave. The very thing that has been amplifying the Netherbrain's power. And the very place that we will be able to dominate it. That's where we should use the Nether Stones.
What the fuck are those?
The rat catcher. The few murder. You are, and you will make
That's the crown. Time to cast the spell again. This time it has to work.
So I actually did end up dropping a lot of frames during this on top of the brain fight, but essentially we use Bhaal's special ability to stun the dragon, which basically means we have killing it in the bag. What ends up happening here is I use a 5th level inflict wounds combined with the stun to make it an automatic critical hit, for Tav dealing 81 damage, and since we reduced the dragon under the amount of Illithid powers we have, it instantly dies, getting us the achievement for killing the red dragon in the upper city. The actual will of the Absolute was a little dicey, and we almost lost, which would have been absolutely insane. But basically, Karlach and Astarion got permanently stun locked, and I could not help them. The Mind Flayers just locked them down. So it came down to Tav, the Emperor, and our little hireling. They had to destroy the brain all by themselves. And through some Barrelmancy and some nice big AoE spells, we did manage to destroy Netherbrain, which for the first ending, we gifted it to Bhaal. And we just turned around and do it again to give us the Ceramorphosis achievement as well.
Then the screams of legions upon. The pain rips through you, obliterating all thought. Silence. The overbearing quiet of your father's disappointment.
And yeah, that's it. There's a couple more achievements I still have to get, but otherwise we completed Baldur's Gate 3 on honor mode, while getting as many achievements as possible during the run. There are a couple we missed where we had a little bit more control than not on actually getting them, but we still did most of them in all honesty, if I could talk. To wrap things up, my final review on the game is going to be coming out next week. This is where I'm going to share all my extended thoughts on what I liked and what I didn't like about Baldur's Gate. And to say it, Baldur's Gate is probably one of my favorite games of all time, but it doesn't come out with some very apparent drawbacks. That being said, I really do hope you enjoyed watching my journey through each act, and I hope to see you in the next video. I've been Devoted 221. This has been the Completionist Files, and I hope to see you in the final review. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.